Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're taking your sources, like always, and digging in. Today, it's a topic many of you asked about, even shared stories on. Recognizing a narcissistic boss. You sent a whole stack of material, really fascinating stuff. Our mission, to pull out the key insights, help you understand, and maybe navigate these tricky workplace situations.
Yeah, it's definitely a critical subject. And there's that paradox, isn't there, how these individuals, the ones with strong narcissistic traits, often get into leadership roles. They can be initially charming, really good at self-promotion, but ultimately they can be pretty destructive for their team.
Okay, let's unpack that. And maybe first, just clarify. When we talk about workplace narcissism here, we mean observable traits, right?
Yeah.
Patterns of behavior.
Exactly. We're not making clinical diagnoses.
Right. But the impact is real. It affects employee well-being, sometimes leading to what some sources call healthy worker syndrome.
And that's quite insidious, actually, because it's not the people struggling who leave first. It's often the really competent, resilient employees.
They just opt out.
They choose to exit, yeah. Not because they can't handle the work, but because the environment the boss creates just becomes, well, psychologically unsustainable.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, how can you spot these patterns? We've boiled it down to 5 key signs to look out for. This is really about understanding and, self-protection. First one you might notice. Exaggerated self-importance and grandiosity. It's like way beyond just normal confidence, an inflated view of themselves.
Oh, definitely. It's often quite detached from their actual abilities. You'll see them maybe monopolizing meetings, not just for control, but almost to make sure nobody else shines too bright.
Right.
They might name drop connections, prestigious schools constantly, but it's not just boasting. It's like props.
Props.
Yeah, props in their own sort of self-starring production. Even their office can become a shrine to themselves, awards, photos, all reinforcing their importance.
Wow, okay. Sounds exhausting. Then, sign number 2, this chilling absence, a pervasive lack of empathy. It's not just being a bit insensitive, is it? It's deeper.
It is. It's a profound difficulty, sometimes an inability, to genuinely grasp or connect with how others are feeling. The classic example. That sort of shocking, casual disregard for staff needs. You might say you're overwhelmed, need support, and the response is just a cold. So what? So what? Not my problem. You deal with it.
Yeah, that's more than just tough management.
It absolutely is. It creates what we call a psychologically unsafe environment. Fear starts creeping in.
That's so what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really cuts deep, shows the disconnect, and kind of related to that self-focus, I guess, is sign 3, an insatiable need for admiration and credit.
Constant need for praise. And they are notorious for basically stealing employees' ideas or work.
Taking the credit.
Taking disproportionate credit, or sometimes just outright pilfering recognition. Trying to please them feels, well, thankless. Like trying to fill a bottomless pit.
Even praise isn't enough.
Not unless it's constant and reinforces how great they are. It's about validating their core self-image.
Okay, now, the flip side of that ego. Sign 4. Extreme sensitivity to criticism and blame shifting. They just can't take negative feedback, can they?
Rarely, if ever. Any criticism feels like a direct attack. So they almost never accept responsibility for mistakes. It's consistently dissected.
Always someone else's fault.
Always. Every single time. It protects that fragile self-image.
And number 5, maybe the most insidious. Strong sense of entitlement and manipulation. They expect special treatment, and they're good at getting it.
Very skilled at influencing others, yeah. Often for their own game. This can include really damaging tactics like gaslighting.
Gaslit.
Yeah, where they intentionally twist reality, misrepresent things to make you doubt your own memory or perception.
That's scary.
It is. And they often genuinely believe they're above the rules, above the usual ethical standards, which can lead to some really questionable behavior.
Understanding these signs is one thing, but
yeah,
the real cost, the unseen toll on you working under someone like this, that's where it gets really interesting, or maybe worrying.
Definitely. The impact on well-being is huge. Increased stress, burnout, higher turnover. They actively deplete an employee's energy, their self-esteem, their sense of autonomy, even fairness.
And it spreads.
Oh, yeah. It creates a toxic culture that trickles down through the whole team, sometimes the whole organization.
So what does this actually mean for you, the listener, if you're in this situation? How do you navigate it? How do you protect yourself?
Well, given the credit-stealing tendency, documenting your achievements meticulously is vital. Keep records.
Good practical tip.
And another technique mentioned in the sources is the gray rock method.
Gray rock.
Yeah, basically making yourself uninteresting. You consciously stay neutral, limit your emotional reactions when interacting with them. The idea is to deny them the emotional reaction, the fuel they often crave, disengage from the drama.
Right, don't feed the machine. Okay, so this deep dive really highlights that recognizing these signs.
Yeah.
It isn't about armchair diagnosis. It's about understanding your work environment, seeing the patterns, and most importantly, protecting your own well-being. Trusting your gut, trusting your perceptions in these situations seems incredibly important.
It really is, and it leaves us with a pretty significant question to ponder, doesn't it? If these behaviors, these leadership styles, are so clearly destructive, what systemic changes are actually needed to stop these individuals from getting into power and, perhaps more importantly, staying there?